this last weekend in Chicago, starting on Thursday, was absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys saw this. So this was the raw alerts scene. Hundreds of teens went out into the street of Chicago, just causing chaos, you know, getting in fights, jumping on cars, really. And basically rioting for absolutely no reason. Like there was no reason for it. It didn't make any sense. There was no like higher purpose to this. It was just to cause chaos. So here's the video, and this is a little bit longer. So, and actually, you can actually hear at the end of this video the moments where gunshots rang out. There was gunshots.
Don't run. Come over here. They chasing me. They chasing me up in there. Now we got a person shot.
Just craziness. Like there, and this is just one of many videos that came out. So apparently this was the second or the third night. So Saturday night was the third night in Chicago that this continued to happen. As you see, again, my show prep is basically my articles from the Post Millennial, which is I've been working a lot. So yeah, but yeah, so for 3 nights straight, and two teens were shot in Saturday night's events. The one was a 16-year-old who was shot in the arm, and the other was a 17-year-old who was shot in the leg. Both were transported to the hospital. I had not heard that either one of them passed away. They were both ended up being okay. Apparently, I'm pretty sure on Friday there was a 14-year-old that was shot. It was either Thursday or Friday, because again, this was the third night of all this going on, and it was just going. I mean, they're just going crazy. Which then, by absolute insanity, I don't have this one pulled up. Today, the new mayor of Chicago, so Lori Lightfoot lost her election to a further left candidate than her, so that's going to be a great for that city. He said this morning that you can't. He said, the violence is not justified, but we need to, we shouldn't condemn these kids that are out there and causing this destruction. We need to give them somewhere to go, basically, is what they said. It's like basically saying the system failed them, and so they're acting out. But no, like, let me see. Yeah, Entertain Me says, if they are minors, where's the parents? That's a good question. So if on Saturday night, 15 people were arrested. 9 of them were adults, and 6 of them were under the age of 18. So these are mostly, high school kids. And so it's April. I can only imagine how this rest of the summer is going to go. This is going to be crazy if this type of stuff continues to happen. And this is down in Millennium Park, which, if you know Chicago, that is like one of the most populated tourist areas in the city. Like, that's North Michigan Avenue, which is known as the Miracle Mile, which has like all the best shopping and everything like that if you're in Chicago. And so they are basically taking to downtown Chicago and making it their playground. It's crazy. Let me see, what else did it have? Yeah, so that was one of the other things. And so I think that response came to from the mayor after the Representative Lopez, Alderman Lopez from the 15th Ward said, "This was Chicago last night. Save the excuses and rationalization. Unless you want this to be the norm in Chicago, hold them and their parents accountable," which I agree with. You have to hold these parents accountable. Otherwise, this stuff is going to continue to happen. Like, how do 300, now the reports were about 300, but other reports I had seen also said it could have been upwards to 1,000 kids. I guess they use social media to to basically invite everybody. So all these people were like all in like the same social media chat, or the invitations went across social media. I guess Friday night they were down at the water district and they were causing trouble. Police came and everybody scattered and left. So there weren't very many I didn't see any videos from Friday night, but then Saturday night it was like all hell broke loose in downtown Chicago. And honestly, I haven't been to Chicago in, God, that was probably 2009. I think the last time I went to Chicago was in 2009, like right after I graduated college. And it was nothing like that. So let me see. Tom says, well, yeah, every time they say we just need a community center, no amount of community centers is going to fix this problem. No, it's parents need to be, again, I think that what the alderman had actually said is correct, that parents need to be held accountable for what their kids are doing. Like, that is the only way that this is going to be fixed. Because otherwise it seems like, and this is one of the problems we have across the country, doesn't matter what community it is, and it's one of the reasons why we're seeing so many issues, even with like with a lot of the issues, is that parents are expecting now the state to raise their kids. A lot of parents don't want to raise their kids. A lot of parents have kids and then they don't want to raise them, and so they send them to schools. I mean, that's what we talk about when we talk about like comprehensive sex. When we talk about sex education, when we talk about comprehensive sex education, we talk about, parents don't want to teach their kids that stuff, so they want the school to do it. And so now they're teaching it in kindergarten. Like, it doesn't make sense. Psycho says, defund public schooling. I agree. It has been a failure and it produces these kind of results. Which I push for school choice or voucher systems across the country, because I think that if you can get kids into here, but the problem is even if you have school choice, a lot of parents aren't going to even worry about it. They're just going to send their kids to the same schools and not worry so much about what their kids are learning in schools and everything like that. A lot of parents didn't even know what their kids were learning in schools until COVID opened their eyes to see what was actually happening, because they were actually at home, watching, they were at home and they could actually see and hear what their teachers were teaching them.